Morning guys, James here from Axopar London Group and Sunseeker Brokerage, and today we're down at HYS Dry Stack, which is at Port Hamble Marina on the Hamble River, to have a look at a new listing just coming to market, which is a 2020 Axopar 28 T-top. She's called Peregrine and she's just behind me here in the dry stack. So on her own very custom cradle here, you'll see next to the main stack where she can stay. The yard are happy to have a new contract with the next owner. She was delivered in early summer last year during the lockdown period, actually invoiced in March to the owner, running just over 42 hours on the boat. She is absolutely immaculate. Very little use, change of circumstances for the owner as such that he'd like now to put her up on the market. You can see presenting here almost as new. Waiting list for these now running into October 2022, so can't get a boat now for more than 12 months. So it is pretty much a unique opportunity if you want to get out on the water for next season on something as close to new as possible. Just have a walk around here, around the front. We'll do a full tour today so you can take in the full boat in all her glory. So she has a huge custom overall winter storage cover which keeps the boat absolutely immaculate, and the owner is pretty fastidious at coming down regularly, living local to the boat, keeping it looking absolutely spot on. You can see no anti-foul on the bottom. Obviously she lives on the dry stack here, which means A, she runs a little bit quicker, but also B, aesthetically there isn't that dirty water line. We could of course retrospectively anti-foul the boat if you wanted to keep her in the water. So the all-important spec list, she's got the Brabus line trim, which is those black painted rails. We've got the black rubbing stroke on here, the detailed badges, some other bits and pieces we'll have a look at as we have a walk around on board. Powered by the single Mercury 300 V8 engine there, so it's a naturally aspirated 4.6 litre V8 engine, runs about 42 knots, wide open throttle. It's generally considered to be the engine of choice and has the balance of the 5-year manufacturer warranty on the engine, which is transferable to next owner. She was serviced around April this year, so everything's up to date and on schedule. Replacement costs of the boat today, bearing in mind there are price increases coming for the 22 season and beyond, we're looking about £170,000 now for a new build. This particular one will be going on the market at £139,950 UK tax paid, making her great value, I say, in a very unique proposition. So spec wise, lots of options to talk about. On the back here you can see the Brabus line finished water ski towing frame, which makes towing your wakeboards and what have you very straightforward. She has the day cruiser aft cabin package here, which of course doubles up here as this handy sunbed. We're in a working boat yard here at HYS, so you have to excuse the noise in the background. I'll do my best. Hopefully you can hear me okay. So two modes of access into this. We have a hatch underneath the cushion here and in through the back seat that we'll have a look at in a sec. The aft lockers, handy storage areas, so we can see we've got fenders stashed away here on the starboard side and over on the port side. You see we have the manual bilge pump. This is a socket for the ensign staff. This is the darker grey Silvertech Storm upholstery. You can see on all of the cushions. There are protective cover packs, so we've got a red canvas cover for here, one that runs through the cockpit there over the back seat, and then a further cover for the front, which is like sort of your day covers through the summer season, and then that big overall cover to keep it nice in the winter. Up top we've got the plate that would take a radar, so you could retrofit that Garmin if you wish. And there's also a plinth up top there if you want to put a remote spotlight on. So boat only having been used for local waters by a very knowledgeable owner, it wasn't needed on the original build spec. We've got the white non-slip decks running through the boat here, so very practical and easy to look after. You can see the little blue LED low-level lights, makes it pretty at night. On the bathing platforms, of course, we've got the S-Tech finish, and we could of course retrofit that through the rest of the decks if you wish. So coming into the central cockpit area here, see we've got this aft bench seat for 4 people, little armrests on the back lift up, and you've got an access in here, we'll have a look in a minute, which is for the cabin arrangement. Helm and co-pilot seats here spin round 180 degrees, and there's a socket in the floor here for the optional teak table that the boat does have to give handy space for social dining when you're at rest. Forward we have the fully equipped helm here, so we've got Mercury digital throttle and shift control here with the power trim on the stick here. Part of the Brabus line trim upgrade, we have this nice Alcantara finished wheel, which of course has a tilt mechanism you can see underneath the handle there to get that into a comfortable driving position. There is the upgrade to a bow thruster for easy docking. Then we have a DSC VHF radio with a fist mic and a Fusion head unit control for the stereo. Speakers here in the cockpit. And then coming forward we have the display for the Smartcraft, which is the engine display giving temperatures and pressures, alarm systems and what have you, and you can see we're reading 41.24 hours, so very, very little usage. And then we have Garmin's multifunction touchscreen display here, which you can see is very quick to respond. We've got a chart card in there for the UK. Very, very nice bit of kit. And you can see if we go into various modes here, so we can look at 3D pictures, you can see it's doing satellite overlay here. Split screen, so very, 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 very clever system. And it's been customized to an owner's preference in terms of what you display on the chart at any one time. You can see it's also linked up to things like the engine telemetry if you wish, and it's got a basic depth sounder on it as well, which is IntelliJuice, so it will do basic fish finding capability as well. So a nice little bank of switches here for things like the LED lighting. Up top here you can see the lights in the T-top frame. Of course these low levels here in the cockpit as well. Seats themselves, you can see we can lift up these bolsters. Gives a little bit more working room on the floor here. And if I stand here at the helm, you can see looking straight through the glass windscreen. There's 2 wipers on the front here, making the boat usable all year round. And then there's a canopy arrangement that also slots into here to give you a full enclosure if you want to use the boat out of season. See if I spin around here, got loads of headroom here, absolutely vast. These boats feel very protected. You're sitting really down into the boat here. I say with the different seating configurations, if we want to drop that bolster down, we then really do sit relying more on the nav kit, and so very well protected. If the weather's not quite so nice, still allows you to use the boat out on the water. Tucked down under the dash, of course, we've got the start and stop. Down here we put in an additional socket which would allow use of a kettle or maybe a tube heater in the canopy arrangement for the aft cabin out of season, just to keep the damp out. You can see things like fire extinguisher and what have you for safety. So coming back out of the cockpit area, we'll go forward. You can see with this T-top arrangement you've got lots of very sturdy handholds, again finished in the Brabus line black, which is also detailed on things like the deck cleats here. Boat comes with ropes and fenders, so you can see we've got these grey Axopar fenders and of course several mooring walks. So up forward, standard Axopar layout here with the L-shaped seating, and then we have the Silvertech premium pack, which includes the table on a drop down bracket and an infill cushion to turn this all into a sun pad. Very handy, obviously at slow speed, somewhere to sit and chill out. Still keep a good eye out if you've got, say, the kids up here and what have you. All these cushions are removable for winter storage if you wish, and there's a protective cover that comes onto the rails here and across the back of this area, which then encloses this for storage. So coming forward we have the optional electric anchor winch, so you can see that lovely stainless steel anchor up forward, and then we've got a leaded weighted rope with an electric anchor winch. See the control here in the locker. LED nav lights up on the bow here, and then if we lift this cushion up, see in the lockers we have the optional Shorepower system. So up forward there is the 230 volt battery charger, and you can see all the electrics, breaker up there for the fuse for the bow thruster and what have you. Comes with a Shorepower lead. This is the cover for the forward sunbed. There are the shortened leg poles to make the bed arrangement here. If we lift up this locker in the floor, you've got the waste tank for the toilet. So it's got a 45 litre freshwater system as well as the electric flush toilet. You see the bow thruster, neat installation tucked up the front there. Spinning round behind, of course, signature Axopar toilet compartment here. So we have this lovely big opening door, making it very practical to get in. We've got this big rubber seal to keep the water out. And having a look in here, you see a Jabsco electric flush toilet system. There's a little breaker panel over here on the port side of the boat for all the main systems, and a handy little sink opposite. It's compact, but actually once you're in there, very usable. Just makes days on the water that much more enjoyable. So we come back round into the cockpit, a couple of other bits to show you in terms of onboard systems. So hidden underneath the helm and co-pilot seat here, they literally just drop forward. So we have the optional sink, and then we have a storage area here which can be retrofitted as a cool box if you wish. There's just a drain to put in the bottom, chuck a bag of ice in there, makes that usable for longer times on board. Back cabin here, so if we lift this aft seat up, we'll just move some canopies out of the way. So we have a compact double bed in here. You can see clever use of mirrors and windows and what have you to give a little bit more feeling of space in here. Obviously all protected at night. You've got little blinds that drop down on the windows, and up above those hatches I mentioned earlier, you can see access if you want to put wakeboards and wake skates and that sort of thing away. You've got battery switches here, so there's 2 batteries on the boat, one for the service system and one for the engine start. Very nice neutral colours. You can see presents very, very nicely in here. Apart from the owner's possessions to take off the boat, she's literally turnkey and ready to go. Very easy of course to have surveyed if you wish, as she's sat here ashore, and can be launched with very short notice. The guys here worked little more than an hour's notice needed to get the boat in the water. Just climb back down the ladder, so finish off with a look round this side so you can take in the condition of the hull here. So as you can see, very, very, very close to new. So that's her. If you'd like to know more, of course, as always, please drop me a direct call or email. It's james@axoparlondongroup.com, or mobile is +44 7747 686 587. Please get in touch. We can talk you through a little bit more in terms of the paperwork. I say she's UK tax paid. Talk about costs if you want to look at somewhere else to keep her local, or we can of course arrange onwards transport anywhere in the world if you're based overseas and what have you. Hope you enjoyed that today. It's a unique opportunity currently in the market. Please get in touch if you'd like to know more.